quarter 3, week 6. Number 1, b minus 3 over b plus 9 equals 4 over 10. To solve this proportional equation, we do the cross product. I'm doing 2 different colors so that you know what I circle goes together. So I have 4 times b plus 9 equals 10 times quantity b minus 3. Then we do the distributive property. So 4 times b is 4b. 4 times 9 is 36. Equals 10 times b is 10b. 10 times a negative 3 is a negative 30. Draw your line. Doesn't matter which side these are on. Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to subtract 10 from this side and get 10 on this side. How many of you moved the 4 instead of the 10? So then you didn't have to work with negatives. That's fine too. So then these cancel each other out. A negative 10 and a positive 4 makes a negative 6b. So a negative 6b plus 36 equals a negative 30. So then I'm going to now subtract 36 from this side, subtract 36 from this side. So I'm left with a negative 6b equals a negative 66. Then I will divide by a negative 6 to cancel out. Divide by a negative 6. B equals 11. You need to show all of those steps. And number 2 says in the right triangle, triangle ABC, measurement of angle A is 73 degrees. We know that the measurement of angle C is 90 degrees because it's a right angle. We need to find the measurement of B. That all adds up to 180. So I have 73 plus 90 is 163. Plus B equals 180. So I'm going to subtract 163, subtract 163. B equals 17 degrees. Number 3, sphere, cylinder, and or cone. Which shape possesses a set of parallel cross sections that are similar but not congruent? So similar just means the same shape. So if I draw my cylinder, if I have cross sections going all the way up here, these are not just going to be similar, they are what? Congruent. They're the same shape, same size all the way up. If I draw my cone and I hit cross sections, every cross section that I cut is a circle, but are they the same size? So a cone works. Then I've got my sphere. And with my sphere, remember on Monday we said there are lines that are congruent, because if I have the equator and I go exactly the same distance above that and exactly the same distance below that, those are congruent, right? But could I use a line, cut the cross section here, and cut the cross section here? Are those circles going to be congruent? But they are going to be, those are similar. So with a sphere, you can have congruent circles and you can have similar circles. So for your answer, it'd be cone and sphere. Number 4, what is the circumference of the circle in the problem to the left? Well, I have to write my definition for circumference. Circumference equals 2 times pi times r, or circumference equals pi times the diameter. We found that the radius, well, we found the diameter yesterday to be what? What was it? 24, yep. So then I put, so see, that's why we have to keep our notes. So if we found the diameter, I'm going to use this one right here. The circumference equals pi times 24. And if I use the pi button, my answer is 75.39. Or if I use 3.5, I'm going to take 24 times 3.14, and I would get 75.36. This is using the pi button. This is using 3.14. Number 5. The figure below represents an oval track. What is the length of the track? So the length of the track is the length all the way around it. This one took me a little bit of time to figure out. Okay? So what I did, let's see here. I gotta remember how I did this. So I am going to find, I shouldn't use that color, but this is the circumference of half the circle here, correct? So from here to here is 6 feet. The radius, or 12 feet, the radius equals 6. Am I correct? So I'm going to find, for number 5, circumference equals 2 times pi times r, or circumference equals pi times the diameter. Well, I guess I didn't have to find the radius, I could have kept it as the diameter. So I'm gonna say it's 2 times pi times, I'm gonna use my radius, which is 6. Are you with me on that so far? So 2 times pi times 6, I'm gonna put that in my calculator. Oops. I've got 37.69. Now, so that would be for the whole circle, correct? All the way around, right? Are you guys with me on that? So can I keep it, or do I have to cut it in half? Why can I keep it? Because there's another one on the other side. So I'm just going to keep that. Now, how do I figure out what this distance is? Well, if from this line to the outer edge, are you guys with me? Is that going to be my radius or my diameter? Radius. And from here to here is my radius. So the radius is 6 on both sides. Are you with me on that? So then I take my 106 and subtract, can I just say 12 right now? Which would be 94. Are you with me on that? So now I know that from here to here, it's 94. So if I needed the 94 on the bottom, I also need the 94 on the top. So then I take 94 plus, well, I'm just going to come over here. It'd be the bottom, the top, and then my circumference of that circle, correct? So then I'm adding the 37.69. Putting that all into my calculator. I still have the 37.699 on my calculator, so I'm going to add 94 plus another 94, and I get 225.699, and it keeps going on. You can round to the whole number. You can round to the tens place or hundreds place, it doesn't tell us what to round to, so it doesn't matter. Questions about that one? How many of you got that one right? Nice. Way to go. All right, let's go on to number 6. 6, we're finding the value of x. So we have 2 angles here. So I have angle 3x plus 2 plus x plus 16. What do they have to equal? 90 degrees. What do we call that when 2 angles add up to measure 90 degrees? You need to write this down. You gotta have it memorized. Complementary. I think, how do I know the difference between complementary and supplementary? I think complement, if you complement each other, it's like 2 things that go together. Supplement means I have to have a lot of things. I don't know. You guys come up with your own. I don't know any other way besides getting it memorized. So this is like what we've been doing. So I have a 3x and an x. Those are my like terms. So what do they add up to be? 4x. Then I have a positive 2 and a positive 16. What do they add up to be? What do they add up to be? 18. And it's positive. So I have 4x plus 18 equals 90. I'm going to move my 18 by subtracting 18 from both sides. So I'm left with, the 18s cancel each other out. I'm left with 4x equals 90 minus 18 would be 72. Then I can get rid of, now I need to get my x by itself, so I'm going to